What's up there guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Derail Valley. So we are in the midst of a realistic difficulty playthrough, and in the last episode we arrived here in Goods Factory in town. So what we did a couple of episodes ago now, we set off in order to collect the DH4 traction motor for our restoration model. So we've got the DH4 demonstrator sat in City South waiting for that motor to be installed, and then we can actually go ahead and finish off the repair work and get her all back on the rails. That will be our first demonstrator on the tracks. We also collected the DE2 along our way, but overall we've been trying to take jobs to pay for not only the traction motor but also the fuel and servicing costs of the locomotives that we've been using. So yeah, I think we've done that overall, but today we're going to be grabbing a couple of extra jobs out of here, Goods Factory in town, before we head down south again. And we're going to drop off at Harbour before we head back to City South. So yeah, we're going to be taking this piece of track as well, so that's going to be a bit different because I've never taken this piece of track before fully, and I think that could be quite interesting. So please do grab yourself a drink. Let's hit the rails. Alright then guys, first things first, I'm going to have a look in my inventory to see the jobs, and they're not there because I have reloaded back in. There's also, just to mention, 2 keys here that I've got that I'm going to be using at some point. We've only unlocked one of the garages so far, so that leaves 1 key that we need to purchase, and I believe that key is available in one of the cities. I think it's City West, where we need to pop to the shop there and pick up the key. And that will give us the full set of keys for the various garages around the map. Now the only garage that we've opened so far is the one containing the DE6 slug, and that one's near Harbour, so that's done, and that's actually parked, that slug is parked at City South. So let's head across here and see the jobs that we're going to be picking up here. So we looked through these jobs at the end of the last episode, and if I remember rightly, there's 3 jobs going to Harbour, and it's these 3 that caught my eye. So we've got 39, which will be round at this side, I believe. I'll have a look in a moment. And then we've got 45 and 99. So let's just pick these up in any order for now. We'll just go and find them. We can reorder them in our inventory once we actually figure out what order we're going to be dropping off in. So there's 39. So that one includes, it's just some empty tanks and 2 cars there. Now there is 3 in the row there, but that last one will be disconnected. Yeah, so no worries. So we're going to have to come in reverse and connect up to there, and then the other 2 around here, and they are 99 and 45. So let's just have a quick look. Looks like this might be a set. 99 there, 66 isn't. They're the ones that we've brought in, sorry. So what's this? 49. We're looking for 5 cars. It could be these. 45. Right, is there anything parked in front of these before we do anything else? No, nothing in front of that one, and nothing in front of that one. So, because these are all empties, they're all nice and light, 85, 85 and 60, and we're only using the DH4, so that is going to be a pretty easy pull. So what I'm going to do is actually, we'll start collecting these now. So probably start by getting those, that shorter run of cars, and then push them onto there, and then push those all the way around there, because it's only light. Don't need to worry too much about fuel usage, and connect up to those tankers, and then we'll get cracking. So are we disconnected? We should be. No, we're not. Right, okay. Let's get this. Oh, actually, that should be connected, because this is our traction motor. Hold on a sec. Should be here where we're disconnected. And it certainly is. Right, let's just check to see if our parking brakes are still off, because I have reloaded back in, and like I've said, sometimes you end up with a situation where for some reason your parking brakes are on. We'll just check these as well. So the last thing that I want running in the harbour is to have any of these brake lines not connected properly, even though it'll only be a light load. And yeah, everything looks fine there. Parking brake is off. So our brakes, alright, looks like everything's all good. We've even got lights on. So let's pull forward. So we are not aiming for those 3. We are aiming for this lane, which is the second from the last on the right. So we are slightly downhill here. So we have that as a point of interest, really, just to ensure that we're braking nicely. So a few people mentioned the dynamic brake in the last episode. So it does help. It's not. I'm just utilising it here just for the absolute sake of it, kind of, really, because it's not a great deal of use when you've got cars on the back. To be totally honest, in the DH4, the DE2 dynamic is much better. Sorry, the DE6, should I say, dynamic brake is much better, in my opinion. Right, goods factory time. Looks like we've already got the D yard open. So this is. Which side are we at? So it's this one. So let's throw these switches, which will take us into D2. We'll use the remote here. And just reverse into this lane. I'll grab these cars, push them onto the front of those ones, and reverse the whole lot back round. But yeah, it shouldn't be much trouble at all for the DH4. We could have gone round the other side first and got the tankers, but we'll do it this way. We don't need to worry too much about damage to this DE2 because it's already fully damaged and ready to be repaired, really. So yeah, even should say that 0% in terms of 0% wellness, if for a lack of a better term, 0% status. Alright, let's get these connected up. Not quite. Not quite, so that does happen sometimes. We've just nudged them a little bit too hard. Just doing that with the brakes on, because that actually just holds it in place. And that was a bit of a stretch. Alright, so typically it's the very end one that's got the brake on. So that's now good to go. Parking brake off. Brake line is fully filled. And here we go. So this one is 99, I believe, although this is green, so maybe not. Have I picked up the wrong one? Now I feel like I have. Oh no, that's green. Yeah, that's the one. Green. So this is 45, sorry. Alright, so we'll get ourselves in there. It's just a bit odd that both sets of cars are both 5 cars. So, in my standard difficulty playthrough, somebody had mentioned that you can use flags in order to determine your points where you're going to cut off when you come to drop off and things like that. So that could be quite a useful thing, really. Why are we slowing down here? I thought we were downhill coming out of here, or are we uphill? There we go. Alright, that'll do her. Right, so let's get reversed up here. I was wondering why we were slowing there. I was thinking, have I left the dynamic brake on? But obviously, you can't have dynamic brake on and throttle. It's kind of counter to each other. So it's either one or the other, so that would be quite odd. It might be that I've got the direction wrong in terms of it might be uphill going out of here. I thought it was downhill. Difficult to tell without a clinometer. So we would need to pick that up at some point still. Which we will do. Alright, that's a better stop. Nice and close. We shouldn't have any problems there. Done. Alright, let's get this parking brake off and then we can just give these guys a push back. It's only like 170 tons, so no problem at all for this DH4. So there we go, full throttle. Of course, if we'd had heavier stuff, we could have taken the double header of DH4s. Always looking at the rusty items personally and just thinking, yeah, we've probably got a couple of demonstrators peeking around the corner at us. Because we've currently only got, we've found 4, we've rescued 2, and we've got 2 to find. So I'm really looking forward to getting those other 2 found, and there is a number of stations we haven't been to, so I keep mentioning this, and apologies for anybody who's watched every episode. But yeah, it's the S282 we're looking for, and the DM3. So just keeping my eyes out for those, and yeah, they could be anywhere. Wow, I like these coaches. I've never noticed those before. That this set of buses here, different types. Very cool. Right, let's get this switch set like that. So there's actually 2. Is there 2 water supplies here in Goods Factory in town? There's one there. Again, I've nudged those a little hard, so let's just do that. But yeah, I think there's 2 water supply points here at Goods Factory in town. I've noticed that with a number of stations actually. Obviously Steel Mill has 2. Right. It'll be this end one, won't it? Because it always is. Ah, the one time I go back there it isn't. Right, so that is disconnected. These are 3.9. And 3.9. And that is all connected correctly. We've got 9.9. I forgot to take the parking brake off, haven't I? And that is connected correctly. We've got 4.5. And that is connected correctly. So, all good. Just look in here a sec. So we've got, yeah, only 1 water supply point. That's just coal. Interesting. Some more broken down stuff here. I've inspected most of these areas previously, so I'm aware that there isn't. I don't think there's any other demonstrator locos here. Just looking for the station office. So just head over here. So what I'm going to do here is just quickly reorganize these things. So 9945 and 39. So 39 is going to be the first drop off, followed by 99. So they're actually in the right order. So first drop off. Oh no, they're not. Now they are. So 39 at the back, 99 in the middle, and then 45, which will be the last one to drop off at harbour. So they may all well be in different places. It's about midday. Weather's looking fine. So let's validate. We'll start with the one that we're dropping off first. So they're all validated. We'll remember to take that parking brake off now. Get it going forward. We'll just have a listen. So no screeching, no hissing. No indication of any problems as far as brakes go. Let's hop aboard. Just wanted to take a look over here because thought I saw a nice little diorama in the what would maybe be like this residential centre here. Let's have a look. Yeah, so there's a well there. Never spotted that before. Very cool. Right, so one thing that we ought to do here is just go back to our station overview and just switch these switches. So that one now should be set to go to the right and this one to the left to take us straight through there. So that's all good. What else do we need to do? We need to look on our route map because coming out of here we are heading down, coming out of here and heading this way, but then we're going to go left there and then right there and then we're coming into harbour. So just checking everything's all good here. So it looks to be fine. We're just going to go straight through the middle. Right, so let's have a look on our route then. So coming out of here we're heading down this way. This switch will be automatic. This one should be set left. This one should be set right to take us into harbour. Now when we actually get into harbour we're going to drop off this first. We're going to drop off at G2S at the rear. So we'll go through G yard. We'll then go to C and that will end up at D. So a bit of back and forth there, but not too bad. Yeah, I think we'll be fine with that. So let's go back to our route mapping in terms of our station overview. So let's have a look. So we're actually coming in from this end for once. We're going to switch that switch to left and left to take us down to the G yard. It's G2. So we're heading then to the G page. G2 is this one, so I would imagine that we're reversing in there. So let's allow ourselves to go straight through. I'm just keeping an eye on the speed here. We're up to 30. We are losing speed here, so I think that we are uphill here. I think I was wrong. So, yeah, heading straight through and then we'll reverse in to drop off at G2. So yeah, that first step is absolutely fine. Just having a look around, we've got just over half a tank left, plenty of oil. Not too much to worry about in terms of servicing. We will look to service or switch locals when we get to harbour, depending on what we want to do next. Alright, we're losing a bit of speed here actually. It's just a bit of temperature warning. I'll have a look at that. Alright, we're gaining a bit now again, so we'll just ease off. Just check that dynamic. Yeah, it's switched off, of course it is. So let's proceed really here. Alright, she's holding speed nicely. Don't think we've got anything to worry about. See there, we're into the amber zone of the temperature, so we'll just start to continue to ease back just as we gain speed here and bring that temperature back down. The 50 limit here. So, not too much to worry about. Okay, let's. We'll have to keep it moving. We don't want to be dropping behind. That's a beautiful view actually, apart from the dirty window that I wish you could clean. I do wish you could clean the locos, clean the windows. There we go, we're picking up speed now. 40 limit, so we can ease back now. We are on 40. So we're curving round. So maybe there before we hit the switch. Yeah. So the switch is around these turns, I believe. And then we're going to be heading that way. So we've lost a bit of speed there though now that I've eased off a bit. A nice castle up there as well that we haven't seen. Wouldn't mind a look at that. Another beautiful lake. Nicely modelled. I believe they have ray traced reflections on those water bodies as well, so it's nice. It's a nice touch, especially for a game built in Unity. I mean, I said that in the last episode. So this game, I don't know whether it's solely built in Unity or what the situation is, because I'm not a game dev, but I do understand that it utilises Unity, at least, in some capacity, and wow. What a great looking, very highly playable game for a game which was made in Unity. That's amazing. 30 is the new speed limit. We are dropping below that anyway, so... Temp again. Temp again is a problem. Alright, so we're curving round. We've obviously gone over the switch. We're curving round, and then eventually we're going to meet this section here. 50 limit here now. Come on, get the speed down a little bit now. How much brake do we actually need? We'll use a little bit of dynamic as well here. The horn, not something that I've utilised before, I don't think. Just thought I'd give it a go. So we've got a switch here. We're heading off to the left for our piece of track that we've not driven before. So 60 is the limit here. Nice big triangle. Open triangle. And nice bit of visibility here. So that's the track that we'd normally take. This looks interesting. Look at this. Cool. So it's 70 here. Immediately down to 50. What speed are we doing? We're just doing less than 50, so yeah, absolutely no problem here. Beautiful to have mixed freight that we are pulling, and yeah, it's always a joy to have multiple jobs on the go. Just thinking of licenses, I think we've got the majority of them. It's just the hazmat and the military, and obviously the DE6 license we don't have. So it's like saving the big stuff, really. I rushed to unlock the DE6 as part of my standard difficulty playthrough, and that was obviously gives you a huge advantage really in the game to have that loco unlocked. So I've been utilising more of the smaller locos, the ones that I hadn't really used a great deal of. Obviously put together again a huge consist with the DE2 as part of this playthrough, where we've used the DE2, we've used the DE2s with slug, different things like that. Making good use of the DH4 as part of this run. Use the DM3 and the the smaller steam loco, I can't remember what it's called now, SO60. Could do some more stuff with the steamer, to be fair. The shunter didn't really do much with it. We did a few videos, but not many. So yeah, I think that would be fun to get back behind the controls and give her a go. Alright, we want to be heading right at the next switch, and I don't think we'll have that much further to go. Curving round to the left here. Could be any part of this track, really. I mean, maybe here. I don't know. We'll see what this next sign says. It's quite a long sweeping thing, but there is a track here. So we're heading round there. No, we're not. It's the switch. So yeah, we're already there. Just need to think about the DH4. These holds are quite wild, because there's a step here as well that you can accidentally get stuck on. Alright, so here we are to the switch now. We are now on a 60 kilometer per hour limit. We've got one track heading up north and we are heading south. So we are here, and as part of my standard difficulty playthrough I did utilise part of this track, so I haven't driven it as part of a route like we've just done there. What I did is, if I remember rightly, I had a long consist including the DE6 that I brought out of harbour heading this way and heading up this way, but I wanted to turn around because of this piece of track. Hold on a sec, we're running away here. It's always the case when I've got the map open, the loco just starts going faster and faster. Right, so we've got southerly stretch here. Just ease off. So yeah, I came all the way up this way with the DE6, or I think it was a set of DE6s, and quite a large heavy load, and basically went into that piece of track that we've just come out of and then reversed out. Just approaching 70 here. It's the speed limit. Okay, we're gaining. $60. So yeah, using the dynamic brake does attract the higher temperature of the engine temperature, oil temperature. Yeah, we are significantly downhill here. But yeah, with an increased speed limit here to 70 now. So yeah, we ended up reversing up that piece of track and ended up reversing into Coal Mine East before then heading upwards. Really what we could have done is, I think a few people mentioned, we could have just come up here, gone round there and then headed back out. But I think the train was too long to do that. If I remember rightly, it was a really, really long set of cars. Looking forward to getting into those long consists again, but also I really do like the fact that we've got a short set here, short light set. Try and balance both dynamic and air brake here. So we've got a 40 limit and we're approaching another switch, which means that we are... So if we're approaching another switch here, are we here? That seems like it's gone fast. Mind you, I've been doing a lot of talking. So there is this switch which takes the track up to where you get the slug. Yeah, I think we're here. Yeah, we are. There we go. So we'll follow this round into harbour now. Wow, that was fast. And here we are then, guys, skipping past E lane and F and then into G now. So the time here to complete this and get the time bonus is 78 minutes. I'm sure we've done it in like 15 or something. But yeah, we'll get ourselves in before we start celebrating. Right, there's nothing in 2. So we can run in, straight in, and just drop off. We don't need to reverse in. Alright, so... it's these rear ones that are coming in here now. Can we do this without stopping? We are going a little slower than what I would have wanted, but... yeah. Let's give it a go. You just want those rear cars into this lane really, and then we'll see if we can do this without stopping. So I could leave that valve open there. I think that's just about in. We won't take any risks though. Stick that parking brake on. Alright, so that's us dropped. Our next drop off is C. We could technically 1, 2, 3, hang on. So we could do a split here and then take these into D first, because we're right next to D now. Drop those there. Alright, so these guys are going into D4I, and this is just checking 45, and it's 5 cars, D4I, 45. So, stick these in first. So, D yard is here. We're coming down here, so we want to be to the left. and then their D4I. Now while they're reversing, let's just go get paid for that other job and see how long it took us. So it was only 24 minutes, and we've obviously got the time bonus as a result of that. So yeah, we're sitting pretty. 470,000. We've actually obviously increased our income, our available funds quite a lot since setting off to collect the DS4 traction motor. So we've more than made our money. I can't remember. I think we had, what was it, 420,000, something like that. So with this slot, we're going into D4. So it's just a case of really now just seeing what's happening back there. Nothing in it. We've been blessed. All right. Hopefully that's in. Maybe not. Yeah, not quite. Let's give him a bit more of a push. Yeah, not quite in. Would have saved a bit of time there, but nevertheless, we'll fill that. Whoa, what's going on? What am I climbing up there? That? Yeah, couldn't quite tell where we were there in terms of positioning. Alright, let's go and get those final cars and we'll get those dropped off in C. Alright, so we didn't have the parking brake on there because we just let all the air out the pipe. So once we actually get those, once we get that pipe, something's wrong. Did we put the parking brake on? Or did it just need to refill the brake pipe? Hang on. Ah. There we go. Right. Let's get a move on then. And one thing that we'll want to do here is to make sure that we're reversing into C just in case. So we're whoops, my mouse is all over the place. So if we're coming out here, we want to head past C to reverse in. So let's just, while we're managing multiple things, let's just get paid for this job. So another 11.8 there. So 482. And this last one's going into C2I, which I think is the middle lane. So I think there's no reason why we shouldn't be absolutely fine reversing straight down C here. Okay, switches are set to go into the right one, but we'll adjust that now. Wow, a number of DE6s there. Alright, finally then, C yard. Will be like that. Might as well utilise the remote. Alright, so there we have it. Let's get this disconnected. And we will shut this baby down. Let's stick the parking brake on. Oh, I hit the start there. There we go. Right, let's go and get paid for this job. And yeah, I really hope you've enjoyed it, guys. Obviously, if you have, please do hit the like button. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, I'd love it if you'd go ahead and do that and hit the notification bell to be notified of upcoming videos. Hit me up in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you. And yeah, let's get the money. Let's get this money. So there we have it. Another 11.8. And yeah, our bank balance is looking very nice indeed. Well, I hope you enjoyed it, guys. And yeah, I'm going to leave it here. I think that's been a fairly long episode. And next time we'll take a look and see what jobs are going out of here. But yes, we will be heading back to City South to start the restoration project for the DH4. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Please do take care of yourselves, and I'll catch you guys again soon.